Hi everybody, this is Karen Coker and my final vlog for Sweet Talker. So I will apologize ahead of time for how long this video is, but I feel like there's a lot of stuff to talk about to kind of come full circle on my journey with this horse so far. So this right here is just a jump school I had with him at home. You can see like his willingness to go forward, his technique's getting better, he's staying straighter, all the good things that you want a young horse to do, he is doing. This is a dressage clinic that I had. Stacy Patterson comes to my farm frequently, and she is a biomechanics rider, teacher, instructor, and she really focuses on making sure that the rider is correct and straight so that the horses can go correct and straight and let them express their gaits. So I think it's particularly important with young horses that we are straight and aware of our bodies so that we don't create a problem in a young horse that's not there. And if there is something there, that we can get it adjusted and get it fixed quick so that the horses have a long career and they can be healthy and sound. So you can see throughout this ride that he got just a little bit more uphill, a little bit more free in the shoulder, and he's really moving quite straight and nice. So I've been very happy with his dressage work and how he's come along this year for a 4-year-old. You know, I'm not worried about him coming up very high in the frame, but he has a nice consistent frame and he's working over his back. So this is a little jumper show I took him to. Casanova Warrenton Pony Club puts on jumper shows at Great Meadow, and I think they're great because you get all the filler and the environment kind of the big show without being at a big show. When we got to the show, it was a Halloween themed event. So there was ponies with costumes on and people jumping around in the warm up being a little bit wild and crazy. And he wasn't quite a fan of that. We got a little bit of antics from him, more than he normally gives off, but he was quite tense for the first 10-15 minutes of our ride. He's a little bucky and scooty, and it took a little bit to kind of get that out. And after schooling him around, this was his final product. He just kind of loped around this course. I really think he settled in quite nicely. And obviously, the jumps are too small for him and too easy, but I would rather underface a young horse and be able to ride them than to overface them and have them want to quit on me. So you can see he tries to take over a couple times, but he comes back to me and he's pretty quiet. So I didn't do the Futurity championships with him. It just wasn't in the cards for us. So I took him to Virginia horse trials with me. I think it's pretty important to a young horse, as I said before, to just put miles on them. The more hours that you're working with them and doing stuff, the more they can learn. So I took him with me to the horse trials. I was running the 2-star on my other horse, and he got to go and be in the environment and walk around with all the craziness. And I was lunging him in here and people started to show up to ride. So I went ahead and just got on him. And you can see how mature he was about the whole situation with a short lunging and then just get on and walk track canter both ways with horses going everywhere. At night, dark, I never had him in it covered with lights, and he just didn't really care. Quite impressed me for a 4-year-old that he was able to settle in like this. But I think it's so good to be able to take the young horses places when there's no pressure to do anything. So I did sign him up here for the starter, but kind of with the intention that I didn't need to finish I didn't even have to start if I didn't want to. But it gave me the opportunity to at least ride a dressage test if I wanted to, if he had settled in. So we showed up on Thursday morning. This is Friday evening, and you can see that it didn't take him very long to acclimate to the show. But being able to be around cars buzzing around and motorcycles and bikes and wheelbarrows and in and out of the barns and just all the chaos that goes with a large show environment. I lunged him in a couple of the rings just so he could get that. You could see he wasn't too worried about the whole ordeal of being there. I did do a dressage test and a jump around on him. I didn't go cross country. It was honestly late in the day and it had poured down rain and I wasn't sure about the footing and I didn't need him to prove anything to me. He had already proven that he was able to go and settle into the environment. So he jumped a clear round after this dressage test and I was incredibly proud of him at this show. And throughout our whole journey together, he really has just stepped it up every time I ask him to. And I was kind of nervous, like, is he even going to be able to handle this kind of environment? He's young, he's never been anywhere like this, and he just really didn't care. He keeps proving to me that he is confident and that I'm doing the right thing for him. So I'm very happy with how he's coming along. And I'm want to check in on kind of some of the other stuff that we've done. So I took him around to all the different barns and he got to go in different types of wash stalls and got to go in spooky stalls and through scary doorways and over water grates. And, he just got to see a lot at this show. I went up on top of the hill and grazed him and he was able to kind of take in that environment up there too. Walked up to the cross-country start box so he could see that. He got to learn a lot this weekend without very much pressure being on him. So to check in with the normal baby horse life stuff, this is him getting shod. I put it in fast forward so it wouldn't take so long, but you can see how quiet he is about getting his shoes on and how much of a grown-up he really is becoming, that he can just stand there like a gentleman and get shoes now without me having to fuss over him or, this is just who he is now and it's part of life. I haven't tried to clip him yet, but you can trim him up with scissors wherever you want to. I think clipping will probably hold off on another year unless I really find a reason to clip him. I'm just not going to worry about it. We fixed our trailering problem, so after our accident, he was a little bit tentative, but I have him self-loading again, so I'm super happy about that, fixing that problem. And then thank you all for voting us for the fan favorite. I really appreciate it. I know Louie really appreciates his new fancy halter. If you haven't met Louie and you see him on the show schedule, you should come say hi to him. He really is like the friendliest, sweetest horse ever. He just is everybody's best friend. So it's an appropriate award for him. That's his mom at Virginia Horse Trials. So you can already kind of see their similarities. And I just wanted to kind of come full circle with our journey of her having him, losing her, having him in the hospital. Not every journey starts the way you want it to, but you can have a very happy outcome. And I have so far had a very good outcome. I've had a blast training him. I've had a blast making these videos and being able to track my progress with him. I don't feel like, I haven't done anything. Like I went from baby horse to wow, look at him at that show. So thank you for watching all of our vlogs and following my story with Sweet Talker Louie. I hope you continue to follow his career throughout his whole life, and hopefully someday you'll see him do great big things. Thanks, and I appreciate your support. This is Karen Coker and Sweet Talker, signing off.